There are 7 common retirement killers that I see time and time again that you must avoid. Now, some of these are financial, while others are more psychological and well-being related. But after working with retirees for the last 20 years, I'm confident that if you can avoid these pitfalls, you'll be well on your way to a happy, successful, and fulfilling retirement. The first one is, you guessed it, having no clear retirement plan. Let's face it, if you're going to wing it, you're probably not going to have too much success. And a lot of you enter into retirement with very little to no plan. You think that, okay, well, I've worked all my life, I've figured it out till now, I'll just keep moving forward and just do stuff that my neighbor Joe did. The reality is that not really a great plan, and it's going to cost you a lot of money in taxes, less money in your pocket, and just uneasy and unknown how much you can actually spend, or maybe even when you can retire as you walk into retirement. So a solid, well-built plan that will benefit you will clearly lay out where your money comes from on an annual basis. It'll break down the differences between taking government benefits, CPP and OAS, at different times. It'll look at different drawdown strategies. If you have a corporation and you have money in there, how do you pull your corporation first or personal money first? Do you pull RSPs or TFSAs? When do you convert your RSP to RIF? Do I have estate plans that I want to help out? Do I want to help kids along the way? Do I want to leave money to someone or a charity? All of these details and nuances need to be clearly mapped out, shown to you, and then provided to you in a clear, understanding way. If you get your retirement plan and you don't understand it or know how to implement it, it's useless. And that's what I always tell our clients. Look, we know we can build you a great plan. We'll show you both sides of the coin, but we're also going to give you the tools that you can move forward with the plan. You understand the plan. You have success with the plan. And so a solid retirement plan is going to clearly show you what you need to do and when you need to do it, and be easy enough to understand so that you can actually implement it. The second biggest retirement killer is not spending enough early in retirement. Now, the flip side of that is spending too much early in retirement can also be a retirement killer. But for the majority of retirees, it's holding your money too close to your chest early in retirement. And I get why people do this. If you don't have a plan, going back to number one, you don't know how much you can spend. And the worry of running out of money should be a real concern. We all should worry about running out of money. Now, if you're wealthy enough, you never worry about that, lucky you. But for the majority of Canadians, we're worried about running out of money, whether that's in retirement or pre-retirement. But what happens is we walk into retirement, we don't have a plan, myth number one, and now we're uncertain what to do. So we're worried about running out of money. So we hold our money close to our chest and we don't go spend the money that we should go spend. And for a lot of you that are in your 50s and 60s, if your parents are still around, or maybe they've passed away already and you've seen them go through this, they didn't spend money. They never spent money, and they died with a lot of money in their bank accounts, a lot of them. Now, again, why did they do that? Well, they held their money too close to their chest. They didn't spend their money. And that's part of their generation and what they grew up in. But let's try and change that. For a lot of you, you want to spend money, you want to travel, you want to buy stuff, you want to, expensive hobbies, whatever it is. Everyone's got their bucket list. Doesn't matter what that bucket list is, but typically checking off your bucket list costs money. And this all ties into your retirement plan should have a laddered income strategy. And what I mean by that is having a go-go, slow-go, and no-go phase to your plan. Again, the concept is, let's have a plan where it shows that you spend more early, because that's how you're going to do it. You will spend more money from date of retirement to about age 75. So why would your plan not have that? And 99% of plans I see from other banks, financial institutions, wherever, will just have a flatline income. And that's a huge disservice to you and your retirement. You should have more now, less later. And the idea is, look, you can go spend this now with comfort knowing that you'll have enough later with a conservative approach to the plan. And so the laddered income allows you to get more earlier. Now, again, there's nuances to that when you build it out, or when your planner builds that out, to make sure that, okay, I need more money now, but I don't want to pay more taxes now. So there's some money movement and planning there that can be done. But again, we do this in every single plan that we do for our clients. And rarely to never will they actually drive up their tax bill in those go-go years. There's ways to kind of nuance that to make it work in your favor. But again, you need to enjoy retirement. You've worked 30, 40, 50 years to get to this phase. Make sure that you're spending enough in those go-go years. The third retirement killer, and I've been talking about it a lot lately because it's so prevalent and I've seen it again and again, and we've had such a good ride in the markets that When the downside comes, a lot of you aren't prepared for it. And the killer in retirement is really that your portfolio is not ready for a market correction or market risk or the ups and downs of the market that you will see in retirement. For the majority of you, as you live through retirement, you're going to see 3, 5, maybe up to 10 big market downturns. And I mean 10, 20, maybe 30+% downturns. So you can't time those. You don't want to pull out of the market because now you're missing the upside. And over time, markets have traditionally gone up and we expect them to going forward. So how do you prepare for that? And that's where we did a video not too long ago here with Steadyhand around the cash wedge and making sure you have a great plan that shows you where your money's coming from. Once you know where your money's coming from, having 2 to 3 years of cash flow aside, not tied to the markets, not fluctuating. And so the rest of your money can keep working for you and there's a strategy to kind of build out there. But if your portfolio is not ready for market risk and downturn and fluctuation in the market during your retirement, which will happen, you're in a very bad position and it can kill your retirement. It can literally set you back. I've seen people go back to work. They've reached out to us and said, look, I retired. I had to go back to work because of the downturn in 2020. And here I am, retirement 2.0. I never want that to happen to you. And there's ways to avoid that. So make sure your portfolio is prepared for the downturn. And having a great plan and having a cash flow plan and that cash wedge is a great way to do that. When it comes to investing, high fees and a lack of transparency can hold you back. That's why I'm excited to share Steadyhand with you, a Canadian investment firm changing the way we grow our wealth. Steadyhand's mission is simple: to help you achieve your financial goals with lower fees, expert guidance, and a transparent approach. Their average all-in fee is less than 0.9%, which could save you thousands of dollars over the years compared to traditional banks. And here's some great news. Steadyhand now reimburses transfer and fees, making it easier than ever to move your accounts and start saving. No hidden charges, no surprises, just straightforward investing. What really sets Steadyhand apart is their client-first philosophy. Their team of seasoned advisors takes the time to understand your goals, whether you're preparing for retirement, building your wealth, or looking for a long-term partner to guide your financial journey. For years, we've referred our clients to Steadyhand, and they've been instrumental in not only managing investments, but also helping clients implement their effective cash flow plans that we've put together. It's this combination of expertise and care that make them such a valuable partner. Steadyhand brings the kind of advice typically reserved for high net worth individuals and investors to Canadians like you, because everybody deserves better investing. If you're ready to take the next steps towards your financial goal, click the link below and start investing better today. The fourth retirement killer is you avoid the unexpected. And what I mean by that is looking at what maybe could happen that could derail my plan. Maybe I lose my spouse or my partner. Maybe stock markets are down for a long period of time. Maybe I haven't prepared my portfolio, like we previously talked about. There are many things that can come as unexpected. So build those into your plan. Look at that what if scenario. And we do that a lot with our clients. We say, look, let's build a what if one of you passed away, or if, one or the other, and looking at, and will the other person be okay? What happens if there's a better return or worse return? How does that, change your income needs, your cash flow? Maybe it changes your tax situation. If portfolios are a lot better, you could be paying a lot more tax. And then there's old age security clawback. Again, there is a lot of moving parts in retirement. And for a lot of you entering that stage, you're starting to realize that. I think the biggest unexpected I see for most of you is longevity risk. Many people I talk to, I would say more than 50% of people I talk to think they're going to die at 70. And I know as we get older, because I'm starting to get older, I feel like I'm going to die early too. Like my body starts to break down. But the reality is, and the statistics are, you're probably living to your mid to late 80s, maybe even your 90s. In fact, if you're married or common law in your early 60s, there's a 50% chance one of you live into your 90s. So the chances are you'll have longevity on your side. But a lot of you aren't planning for that longevity. So, the unexpected could be actually, we live longer than we thought. Are we going to be okay? And so for a lot of you, if you're sitting down with your financial planner and asking them to build out your plan to 85, make sure you see a scenario where it's built out to 95, because that is probably more realistic than the 85. The fifth killer we see all the time is that you don't take care of your health. And I've seen this with people around me. I've seen this with clients. And I see it in my community all the time. I live in a small community here in Langley, BC. And it's an area where there's a lot of retirees. There's a lot of older people. It's a mature community, and there's a lot of people walking. Like today, as I record this, later afternoon, if I drove around my community right now, there would be probably 100 people walking. And it's not a big community. It's a very active community. And so I encourage you, as you enter into retirement, how are you staying healthy? How are you staying active? Everyone can do it in a different mean or different fashion. It's moving your body, it's eating healthier. As you get older, you need to make sure you take care of that. Again, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the plans in the world, but if your health isn't there, it's not as enjoyable. And I know health things can come up. You can take care of yourself as best you can. Health things come up. I've seen it happen to my wife and I. But do the best you can. And a lot of you aren't. You're bypassing that. And a lot of you have worked very stressful jobs, and now that stress is gone. Like, figure out a way to manage that. Meet with your doctor, your health professionals to figure out a plan moving forward. Maybe you need to hire a nutritionist or a fitness instructor, someone like that, to walk alongside you, at least for a little bit, to start creating new habits. Again, retirement is all about the psychological, the mental, figuring out new systems, creating new brain waves in you. And part of that is your health. So make sure you're taking care of your health, because you can have all the money and all the plans, but if that health isn't taken care of, it can derail all the rest very quickly. The sixth retirement killer, the second last one I want to mention today, is that you ignore your social life in retirement. There's a Harvard study done many years ago, and it talked about how retirees don't miss working, they miss the people. And that's probably you. If you work with good people, now a lot of you might say, you know what, Adam, that's why I'm retiring. I can't stand my coworkers. Sure, there's always going to be that. But for a lot of you, you enjoy your coworkers. It's a social environment for you. And again, we'll link this CNBC article below. It talks about the Harvard review, but read through it, because if you're someone that's struggling with like my social life is work, so as soon as I retire, I don't really have that. And I'll try and cling on to it, but I don't know if they'll really accept me. And again, I spend 40 hours, maybe 50, 60 hours a week with them. And now that's gone away. Your social life is going to change. So how are you going to change and adapt for that moving forward? I think one thing to be very careful of, and I've seen it again and again, is there's this honeymoon phase of retirement. And a lot of things are just, it's exciting. It's this honeymoon phase. And a lot of it is you stay connected to that social environment at work, but that will slowly fade away. So I encourage you, if you're entering into retirement, my tip for you would be, as you kind of naturally have that social environment at work let go, you need to actively search out a social environment elsewhere. We all need to have people around us. We're not good isolated for long periods of time. And for a lot of you, especially if you're single and retiring, you need to have that social environment. And it could be, a hobby. It could be a curling club. It could be, a knitting club. It could be whatever. There's no right or wrong to this. It's just, find a group of people that are like you, that have similar hobbies and commonalities to you, that you can meet with maybe once a week or twice a week or whatever it is. I know for my dad retired out to the Philippines here not too long ago, and he's found a group. He's found golfing people. He's found people that he swims with, that he bikes with, a bunch of stuff. There's these social groups that he's connected with out there, and that's a whole new country, right? So again, he's put the effort out there to connect with people, to create that social environment, because your social life is very important. It keeps things going. And for a lot of you that have struggled with that, you know what I'm talking about. So make sure you put the effort in to find that social part of your life once you hit retirement. The seventh and final tip I have for you, and I say it all the time, you need to retire to something, not from something. If you're someone that's entering retirement and you're counting down your days, and someone asks you like, hey, Joe, like when you retire, like what are you gonna do? If you don't have an answer to that, that's a huge red flag, and it's very concerning from my side. I see it all the time. And I see people that retire to something versus retiring from something. And if you're only retiring from something and you don't know what you're going to, and that going to could be anything. It's not another job, you're retiring. But it has to be something to kind of fill up your day, or have purpose or meaning. And if you don't have that, I really strongly encourage you to start looking for that. What are my passions? What are my hobbies? What are things I like to do? Right? Maybe you have some gifts. Maybe you can volunteer your time. Right? Like I know some accountants that just retired. And, they don't want to work at a firm, but they have this gifting of being an accountant and doing taxes. So they're helping some people in their community that can't afford to get taxes done. These types of things. There's always something to do. So figure out what's important to you, what you're able to do, but find something to retire to. Have something on the other side of the fence that you're able to kind of take action on, spend time with, and really dig deep into once you hit your retirement. So thanks for joining us in this video. Hopefully you're really considering these 7 killers of retirement, because we see it again and again, and you don't want your retirement to be derailed by one of these. So thank you for joining us in this video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.